Yet, the cold malice of Admiral Voltan couldn't be stopped. The battle was lost. I knew what I had to do. Where our only hope lies. I, Princess Euphora, last remaining regent of our people, will lead us to the Forever Star. Those of us who survived that day lost everything. But this is not our end. We will survive. Because together, we will keep hope alive.
Hunt them down. No survivors.
Jumplight Odyssey will warp onto our PCs in 2023. Next, fans of Trenchcoats and Blade Runner should keep an eye on our next game. Shadows of Doubt is a sandbox stealth game where you're a private eye in a fully
Buena gente.
sci-fi city of beautiful, chunky pixels. Let's take a look.
Buena gente. Bueno, hoy me enteré del evento de esta gente y dije yo, bueno, lo vamos a transmitir a ver qué onda. Paso porque estoy probando el internet.
Well, you don't need to be a detective to see how good that looked. Shadows of Doubt is coming to PC in Q1 2023, and you can play the beta from December 1st. Be sure to visit the PC Gaming Show 2023 preview page on Steam and sign up. Now, one of the strengths of PC gaming is its breadth of variety, with room for everything from cooperative ghost hunting to score-based trombone simulation. And to showcase the expanse of experiences on offer, here's PC Gamer's Imogen Mellor with a few games from very different genres, all in 2020.
Thank you, Frankie. First in our sample platter is City of Murals. In this colourful roguelite, you'll be gliding and grappling across the vibrant frontiers of an alien world. Make strange new friends or fight to outlast the competition. Don't sweat the setbacks. In this cosmic fight for survival, your deaths only make you stronger. Speaking of fighting, Capcom's famed fighter is back with more bids and new ways to play. In Street Fighter 6, keep your fists flying to use new drive gauge mechanics, while in-game commentators narrate the action.
Wow, that took off a chunk!
And a new modern control type means even rookies can throw fireballs with ease. In the mind-bending narrative adventure, 1,000 Times Resist, you're a clone in the far future. As you relive the memories of humanity's last survivor, you'll uncover a conspiracy that stretches across time and uncover the truth behind a rewritten history. In Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, a totalitarian state learns a hard lesson about activating cyborg super ninjas. It's a bad idea. You control the Moonrider, a ninja-shaped super weapon waging a side-scrolling war against authoritarianism. Throughout this retro vengeance quest, you'll unlock modifier chips to customize your abilities and fighting style. Back to you, Frankie.
Thanks, Imogen. Now let's keep broadening our horizons with a pair of games from Wired Productions. The first, a beautiful city builder for cliffside castle enthusiasts. The second, a gruesome hack and slash game drenched in neon and unicorn guts. A little something for everyone then.
Build your bulwark, born of stone, bound by sea, beneath hostile skies. Build your bulwark.
Peggy 16.
Wyatt.
Wipe off any lingering unicorn splatters, we've got some RPGs to see. Some of the all-time great PC games have been role-playing games, whether they let us become monster hunters, spaceship captains, wasteland wanderers, computer hackers, or amnesiac detectives. And just as they let us lead all sorts of second lives, RPGs can play in all kinds of different ways. Some are about talking and making bold choices, changing the fates of entire realms with a dialogue tree. Some are strategic and thinky, demanding intricate stat management and precision play. Others, like this open-world roguelike from Systemic Reaction, are focused mostly on the stabbing. This is Ravenbound.
This land.
Vamos a ver si avisan. Bueno, o sea, Netis va a hacer supuestamente un anuncio hoy aquí en el directo, así que vamos a ver qué onda.
Even the Raven could see that. That's why it entrusted you to wield its power, to be its weapon, to meet the darkness unwounded, so that the cause does not die when you do. The hatred is a force stronger than you can imagine. But just as dust, carried by the wind, can level mountains, you can wield unimaginable power if you let it wield you.
Por un momento pensé que era el Crow and Liberty.
You can wishlist Ravenbound right now by heading over to our Steam page. Okay, let's trade a Norse fantasy for the grimdark future. In Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, you might not be a Space Marine slice slab of power armor, but as the latest in a line of starfaring privateers with the Emperor's own blessing, you do enjoy certain privileges. Your very own massive void ship, for instance.
The Coronis Expanse. The Imperium's perilous frontier. A foul haven for the enemies of mankind. It is the hunting ground of the rogue traders. Unique and powerful servants of the Imperium. Here they seek out new worlds and servants. Here they discover heresy and deceit. Ancient machines. Murderous Xenos. Warp-spawned horrors. Fanatical zealots. In these dark reaches, the Emperor's light is faint. It is the rogue trader's duty to navigate through this dangerous unknown. For they have the power to feed the Emperor's flame, or to plunge millions of worlds into darkness.
It might be heresy in Warhammer, but this is a safe space for spellcasters. After all, RPGs are a festival for all things fantastical. Whether they're pulling from old myths or writing magical worlds all of their own, these next games are a fantasy tour de force. Imogen, what scrying spells have you woven up for us?
How does Gaslamp Fantasy sound? In this survival game from former BioWare developers, building a cozy base isn't enough. If you want to survive in Nightingale, you'll have to open portals between the Fey realms and face the dangers on the other side. But by meddling with the game's procedural generation, you can shape your next world into something that will hopefully need fewer bullets.
Be ready with your axe pick.
Forspoken places a young New Yorker in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world. Luckily for Frey Holland, she's got a newfound suite of fast, flashy combat spells. And with magical parkour, she can air dash, double jump, and wall run her way across the corrupted open world of Athia.
Let's break some heads.
It looks like Darkest Dungeon, but it hacks and slashes like Gauntlet. In Aaron, the Book of Heroes, you'll carve a path through co-op campaign quests as one of 5 classes, each with their own fighting style and unlockable perks. Aaron, the Book of Heroes opens in May 2023. If you'd like a lighter fantasy than Aaron, consider Frozen Flame, a survival RPG that understands you want to be out adventuring, not stuck in your base filling your hunger meter. It's a high magic, high saturation landscape built for exploration, not for busy work.
Of course, we haven't gone the way of the dinos yet. But for humanity in the 41st millennium, survival is anything but guaranteed. At least, that's what the Imperial propaganda tells me anyway. Speaking of, here's your latest look at Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Darktide releases November 30th, but there's no need to wait if you're
Hola, Obed. Sí, empezó hace... ¿Cuánto estamos? 18 minutos.
Visit playdarktide.com for more info.
No sé cuánto durará.
Let's set the chainsaws aside for something more cheerful, shall we? Waiting in our next block of previews is a farming fantasy with a creature collecting twist. But first, here's Imogen with some fresh features for Project Winter.
Project Winter, dijo.
This incoming update for Project Winter is all about intrigue.
No.
Traitors in the snowy social deduction game will enjoy more ways to steal, sabotage, and surveil, while 2 new roles will bring new ways to play. And you'll find the map decked out with holiday decoration for added festive flair.
Un segundito, me parece que está habiendo problemas.
You'll breed, train, and battle your own collection of blobs.
Ya lo arreglo.
Colorful creatures with unique skills to boost the yield from your fields.
Todavía se está ajustando el internet este. Pero bueno, me lo tienen que ajustar todavía. ¿Por qué pasan varios juegos al mismo tiempo? Eso no entiendo. Es como que van por compañía en compañía, así.
Gather your 4 daredevils, choose their spells, skills, and equipment, and set out across a world filled with the monsters and magics of Kashubia.
Next, what do you get when you fill a mop bucket with a dash of Dead by Daylight, a pinch of Among Us, and a high-pressure environment? Well, you'd have something like Level Zero, a team-based tactical horror with extremely murderable maintenance workers.
Me mostraron un juego de estrategia por turnos, pero no recuerdo cuál es. De última luego lo checas mirando el directo hacia atrás. Lo vi así por arriba, pero no vi qué juego era, o sea, no vi el nombre. Me estoy buscando si había algún directo con subtítulos en español, pero no he encontrado. Un estilo de Videla y este, mira. Ajá. Ok, interesante. Yo estoy viendo si Netis forma de algún juego que vayan a sacar en PC.
Shake off those scares. We haven't left space just yet, and we'll need steady hands if we want to make a safe landing. Luckily, I know a few Kerbals with a very promising astronaut program. In Kerbal Space Program 2, your Kerbal...
Tienen que confirmar si van a sacar o no van a sacar el Harry Potter este año. Aunque supuestamente se filtró que sale el año que viene, pero no sé.
For all the details on the updated Space Sim, let's go over to the PC Gamer team for an exclusive interview with Nate Simpson, creative director on Kerbal Space Program 2.
For us, failure is not only an option, it's like absolutely mandatory, right? It's the way that we learn and evolve. One of the things I'm excited about with early access is it kind of makes everything feel a little more Kerbal in the sense that we're gonna get some things wrong. We're gonna make some assumptions that are incorrect. We're gonna fail out loud.
Este está muy esperado también.
We have the opportunity to make this game amazing with our community, not just for our community. Each update is kind of like a little present. As a community, we get to unwrap this present together with all the new features and all the new things to explore.
I cannot overstate how important it is for me to just hear what people think about this thing we're creating. We've been working in a vacuum, it's a space joke, for quite a while. This is a rare opportunity to actually find out how we've been doing.
Y esto lo publicita Intel a este show.
Hi there, I'm Imogen Mellor from PC Gamer, and I am joined by Kerbal Space Program 2's Nate Simpson. Would you like to introduce yourself, Nate?
Hi,
Qué voz tan gruesa.
I'm the creative director for KSP2.
Okay, so Kerbal Space Program 2 coming up, early access, all that jazz. When we talked in early 2020, one of the features you highlighted were the new tutorial videos to teach people how to play. Can you talk a little bit about that, and can you talk about what we'll be seeing in early access?
One experience that a lot of people had in KSP1, even if they had a pre-existing subject matter interest, it really kind of has a reputation as a game that's pretty hard to get.
Yo nunca lo jugué a este.
Priorities for us going into KSP2 was to re-tutorialize the game. We've created these fully animated, fully interactive tutorials that are meant to teach.
Hay uno que es bastante viejo.
One of early access, we've got our basic rocketry and our basic orbital mechanics tutorials already in place. And one of the things we want to learn from early access is how good of a job are these tutorials doing teaching these basic concepts. So we're looking forward to seeing what we find.
And can you talk about how you expect to be layering the features in early access? What comes first?
Right out of the gate, day one, early access, functionally sandbox. What we're doing is validating the basic physics, basic flight systems, vehicle construction, all the things that make Kerbal Kerbal. The second big rollout is going to be science mode. That'll be our first progression mode that we're bringing into the game that rewards exploration with kind of increasing technology levels and new kinds of parts. And then going forward from that, we have colonies, which is a big new thing for KSP2. We'll be adding new star systems over the course of early access. The first of the new star systems is called the Deb system. And once we've got all those things together, we're going to wrap it up with a nice big bow and deliver multiplayer. Which is something that a lot of us are very to experience.
Algún DLC que van a meter a la historia.
So you can work alongside friends within a single agency, contributing to a single space program in a way that's cooperative. But you can also play competitively between agencies, each of which is located at a different location on Kerbin. So with multi-agency play, you can have space races.
Sí, la física en este juego está brava.
Are there any changes right now that they're going to run into and go, thank God, that's so much easier or like better right now?
There are a lot more convenience improvements. Probably the biggest one is time warp under acceleration. You can now time warp while you are burning an engine. Procedural wings make airplane construction a lot easier. And then in general, the vehicle assembly building is just lovely to navigate now. There's a higher number of parts, but those parts are much easier to find in the part palette.
And do you expect players to be able to keep their save files through early access into the main game? So can people prep for interstellar travel up till like...
Va como trabaja, loco, ¿no? Sí, como...
Compatibility of craft files is a really important
como
thing.
con lag.
But early access being early access, all I can express is a strong hope that vehicles that you build on day one of early access will still be forward compatible when we hit 1.0.
And how are colonies going to change how we play Kerbal?
Colonies are going to change everything. Colony gameplay is about facilitating the collection of resources. And there's a system that works hand in hand with colonies called the delivery route system. I can drive a resource extractor out to a resource deposit, drill for it,
Se ve como que muy vacío el mapa, ¿no?
turn that into a repeating delivery. And then the delivery route system does something even cooler, which you can automate the transportation of resources from one colony to another colony. Once you have that capability, you can set up like orbital colonies that are functionally hubs to which you're ferrying resources from multiple star systems even.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been an
Sí, habla de que se puede sacar recursos y todo eso, pero... Y el mapa se lo ve como que muy vacío, o sea, no sé.
As we return from orbit, there are a lot of games coming our way. Too many games to reasonably cover, some might say. Luckily, we've got the magic of montages on our side.
Sí, qué sé yo. Hablaba de que se podía conquistar, recolectar recursos. Como yo nunca jugué el otro, pues no sé si en el otro se podía hacer esas cosas. A este sí lo había visto en el anterior. ¿Ves como que pasan varios juegos al mismo tiempo? Que sé que son de la misma compañía o qué sé yo. Mismo estilo tal vez. Este es el que había salido hace poco, ¿no? Estrategia. O creo que hacen como un preview de los juegos que van a pasar, o no sé. No creo, estos son mini trailers, no manches.
Revitalized by that first sprint in our preview marathon? Lovely, because we have plenty of trail left to blaze for your next year in PC gaming. But before we resume our blistering pace, let's take a breather with a new addition to your laid-back simulation sandbox.
Un juego de simulación, dice Sandbox. Reparar casa. Hay varios juegos de ese estilo por ahí dando vuelta. Yo llegué a jugar algunos. Probablemente sean del mismo creador.
While antique restoration sounds delightful, we are taking a sharp turn in a more destructive direction now. The next course in our gaming feast is for the head clickers.
Me hace gracia la remera que tiene la chica, porque dice All Day Dreaming. O sea, todo el día durmiendo, ¿no? ¿Qué anda?
Land more hits than you take. We've gathered the finest shooters, slashers, brawlers, and beat-em-ups of 2023. You'll see low-gravity gunfights, skeleton swordplay, and whatever you call it when someone's fighting with an umbrella. But first, we're looking backwards towards something a little more 90s. Say, hello, Gordon, to Abiotic Factor.
I'm feeling distinctly anhydrous.
The Gate Cascade Research Facility has stretched the fabric of the universe to breaking point. Now the world's greatest minds must survive a trans-dimensional catastrophe using brains over brawn to unlock the facility's secret depths.
Interesante.
Endothermia.
And craft their way out of a supernatural situation.
Supervivencia cooperativa.
One sector at a time. When the boundaries between dimensions have been undone, it's up to the science team to endure, experiment, explore, and maybe even escape an apocalypse in the making.
Aren't you glad we're together in this?
Abiotic Factor is set to emerge from an interdimensional portal sometime in 2023. We're moving now into the shooter segment of our action suite to see where we'll be setting our simulated sights in the new year. Here's Imogen with a host of games that run the gunplay gamut.
Ah, el de los hienos. Yo lo probé.
Have destroyed Earth and colonized Mars. The good news is that you can, as always, steal their stuff.
Es bastante raro el juego.
And your pack will fight clone security forces and rival players in zero gravity shooting.
Hicieron una beta cerrada ahí. Yo estaba registrado y lo probé un poco, ¿viste? Pero no sé si va a dar resultado realmente.
Gumbarella is a rust-colored Metroidvania fit for a rainy day. Your Gumbarella isn't just a weapon. It's a bullet shield and traversal tool, letting you deflect enemy shots and slide across zip lines. With your trusty lead-pumping parasol, side-scroll your way through a quest of revenge and corporate exploitation. Take the radiation-soaked top-down shooting of Nuclear Throne and stretch it across a procedurally generated Eastern Europe, and you'd get zero sievert. Scavenge for loot in a tense post-apocalypse to mod your guns and upgrade your base, if you manage to survive the bandits and mutant wildlife. Up next. Do you ever wish you could talk to your video game guns? That's a strange thing to wish for, but lucky you. Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland's making a whole game about it.
Este lo había visto en la de agosto.
Coming out next month. Here's some exclusive footage from the folks at Squanch Games.
¿No fue en agosto o en julio el anterior? Había un arma, más bien, hay un arma en el Cyberpunk que también tiene como que vida propia, sí. Me recordó a eso. Te habla, sí, esas cosas.
I think that might be all of them. What do you think? All right, either way, let's just head to Dregtown.
High on Life is releasing on December 13th, so add it to those wish lists now. Okay, compared to what we just saw, this next game about alien encounters is much less endearing. It's a Death Stranding-style apocalypse by way of cosmic horror from NetEase. 30 years after it brought humanity to the edge of extinction, you'll wield a supernatural substance to reclaim an infested Earth in this open-world survival shooter.
Me había una guía, como te decía, cómo tenerla. Porque decía que nunca el arma dejaba de ser fiel a su dueño.
Squad H-73 has reached target location. Mission objective, deviation control.
Se pasa de Division.
What the hell happened here? Take cover.
Class B deviant identified! Open fire! Open fire!
Get up now. We gotta get out of here. Keep yourself hidden. Don't look them in the eye. it's all over. Let's get out of here. Knock, knock.
Visit our Steam page to join once you
Una beta el 6 de enero, decía.
Well, I don't know about you, but I could use a break from the bullets. And we are in luck because it looks like Valheim is about to get some Viking competition. In Asker, you and your friends will oversee a Norse tribe survival in a hostile world. Manage your settlement's needs and industries before commanding your villagers in sailing expeditions across ever-changing seas.
World Premiere. Nah, pues me gustaba la voz cuando decía World Premiere. No tiene gracia si solo lo escribe.
Remember the rage of the sea. Remember the light in the darkness. And when the dead winter comes, remember those
Casas fantasmas, sí.
who never sleep.
Llevan como algo raro en la mochila, Sacaron uno de los cazafantasmas, pero lo sacaron por Epic. Yo no soy muy fan de esa tienda, la verdad.
This might come as a surprise, but there are a lot of games about hitting things with swords. 2023 brings an armory's worth of options for sharpening your swordcraft in haunted graveyards and galaxies far, far.
Se ve que la chica es inglesa por el acento que tiene.
Lycanvale is a fast-paced, first-person slasher in the tradition of classic 90s shooters. Locked in a nightmare, your longsword and magic are your only hope for surviving a whole Castlevania's worth of skeletons. I'd have brought a mace myself. 5 years after the events of the first Star Wars Souls-like,
Jedi
Survivor finds Cal Kestis evading the Empire's hunters as they track him across the galaxy. Expect plenty of lightsaber action, and if we're lucky, more collectibles.
Ah, es el que continúa del que habían sacado. Como leí Survivor, dije yo, pensé que era algo tirando a eso.
The moon is, in fact, haunted. In Moon Mystery, uncover the secret history behind past lunar missions in a universe-spanning investigation. And bring a gun. It's not just low-gravity puzzles out here.
I don't know if I'm going to get it back.
Cuando ando jugando con un agujero negro. Yo también haría lo mismo.
Knight asks an important question. What if Link to the Past got bitten by a werewolf and turned into Bloodborne?
Y eso fue un guiño a la película Interestelar.
Where you take beast hunting contracts to face bullet hell boss fights. Uncover an accursed world's dark lore and upgrade your arsenal to suit your hunting style. And that's everything I have for now. But before we go back to Frankie, here's a look at what Call of Duty looks like on an Intel-powered PC.
Call of Duty, ¿qué no muestra Call of Duty? Ah, un trailer nomás ya. Ok.
Purchase the Vault Edition and get the Season 1 Battle Pass and 50 tier skins.
Va, propaganda nomás. Ya.
If this last game seemed a little light on loot, you're in for a treat. Because in Superfuse, your comic-style Carnage will earn Diablo-level piles of loot drops. But the real treasures here are with your superpowers. With each ability's own modular skill tree, you can turn
Dijo algo de
a
Diablo.
into a splitting, exploding screen clearer.
Ah, un juego estilo Diablo, ¿no? Ya, ya. Sí, ahora cualquier juego que sacan de la misma temática Diablo. Porque no hay otra referencia. Ya. Bueno, está un December ahora también. Los gráficos estilo Borderlands. Bastante gore, eso sí. 21 de enero.
Coming to PC on January 31st, 2023. Obviously, superpowers are nice and all, but sometimes we just want old-fashioned fisticuffs. And Clash Artifacts of Chaos is a gorgeous and grotesque fever dream of martial arts action. In the punk fantasy world of reclusive warrior Pseudo, a sacred dice game could make your next fistfight easier. But losing might mean your mutant moose opponent gets a new teammate.
El Diablo, sí, yo jugué el 2 varias veces. Las expansiones. El 3 lo jugué un poco nomás. Y ahora dicen que van a sacar una beta para el 4. Pero no sé si hay que pagar para poder conseguir la beta o cómo lo van a hacer. Sí, yo eso lo voy a estar jugando. Marzo creo que sale.
My brother, but he doesn't want to see me.
All right now. I'll take you somewhere safe.
Ahí se hablan algo de Throne and Liberty. Ando jugando en Network, pero el problema es que hay cosas que no arreglaron todavía, o sea, no sé.
And she can use it even if she doesn't win the game of dice. Imagine the power she has to threaten anyone with that.
So why is old Gemini so keen on getting her hands on you?
I'm cursed. That's why Grandpa is dead. That's why my brother hates me.
Me gusta cuando se inventan un mundo así nuevo con criaturas extrañas. El amiguito.
You think I had a choice?
I don't care about your grand plan.
You will never leave.
While there is no justice, there will be no law.
Okay.
Weird Fists will fly when Clash Artifacts of Chaos releases on February 9th, 2023. Next on the list is the latest adventure in Amplitude Studios' Endless Universe. Marooned
Algo de
in the
Amplitude
aftermath of the
Studio,
sci-fi shipwreck, you'll juggle a squad of castaways in this action roguelike, or split control duties in co-op as you fight room by room for survival. Here's the new trailer for Endless Dungeon.
Ah, sí, de Sega es. Yo estoy queriendo entrar al programa de creadores de Sega. Me piden 2000 suscriptores.
Yeah, the dungeon is a real downer. And getting eaten so often.
Es para el Company of Heroes 2. 3.
With a squad this rad, we've got what it takes. Zed's the grooviest. Bunker keeps us all safe. And Blaze makes things explode.
Ah, el que habían sacado en base del Endless Space, ¿no? Un Survivor, Bueno, no tan Survivor, pero sí se ve así de arriba, tipo Diablo. Pero este juego lo vienen anunciando hace pero mucho tiempo ya. Años de hecho. Piu, 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 piu. Endless Dungeon.
Our action block is over. But before we move on, let's see what's in the works at the home of Half-Life. Here's an early look at upcoming projects from Valve.
Está por terminar, dice Lomina.
Oh, hi! Steam Deck has had an exciting year, and we have so much more to come in 2023. We started shipping this powerful handheld PC gaming device back in February of this year, and despite the fact the delivery guy we hired wasn't very fast, sorry Gabe,
Ah, mira, interesante.
we increased production and are now in stock and shipping all over North
La
America.
época Maya.
And we're not done there. We just opened reservations in
No he
Japan,
jugado más
Korea,
que...
and Taiwan.
¿Cuál
And with the
era?
help of Komodo, expect to start shipping there by the end of this year.
Había juego uno de estrategia, pero no era específicamente... Bueno, sí, más o menos, en la época de las colonizaciones era. Y había también indígenas y todas esas cosas. Esto es paradojo, ¿no?
In fact, here's the dock we launched just last month. It's shipping now and lets you connect to a ton of peripherals. But don't worry,
Una consolita de
it
Valve.
means you can also use any USB hub or dock you want. In 2023, we're looking to continue shipping more and more Steam Decks and docks, and we're looking toward launching in more regions too. We'll also continue our work to get as many Steam titles verified on deck as possible. Now keep in mind, games don't need that green check mark to run on deck, but we work with developers to verify.
Yo la busqué esta vez si la vendían, pero no. Acá en Argentina no la venden. En otros lugares sí la puede pedir. ¿Qué sé yo? Puede estar interesante. Se puede jugar todo lo que sea. Desde la cama ahí o lo que sea.
Continuing to make PC gaming as powerful and accessible as possible to as many different kinds of gamers as we can, all while continuing to
Ese juego de estrategia estaría bueno.
players and the industry as a whole. So there's a lot more to come. We have so much planned with Steam Deck for 2023 and well into the future. And don't worry, we're going to go ahead and leave the delivery up to the professionals.
Qué hermoso ojo, Grise.
Before we march on towards next year's strategy game selection,
Sí, ¿y dónde está lo de Netis?
Just ahead, Imogen's brought up an unconventional pairing for your appraisal: a miniature Metroidvania and a dreadful dream adventure.
Biogun is what you'd expect from a Metroidvania, assuming your expectations.
O el Human ese no sé qué era el de Netis.
Save a sick dog's life by blasting viruses across a microscopic expanse of organs.
Netis, por cierto, se peleó, no le renovó el contrato a Blizzard.
Don't ask how they got there.
Y Blizzard perdió el acceso a China.
Despite how it might look in Biogun, facing our inner turmoil isn't terribly exciting for most of us. But others, like Little Griffin, are lucky enough to face their inner fears on a magical journey with a living teddy bear. In Daydream Forgotten Sorrow, you'll join Griffin and Burley the
No sé si eso lo perjudica o lo beneficia a Microsoft con la compra. Pero se dice que se le complicó porque lo están mandando a que lo analicen diferentes organismos y se le complicó.
I think it's time to stretch the speedrunning muscles, don't you? Grab a fresh set of stakes, keep your kryptonite handy, and strap in. Here's another volley of 2023 previews.
Un poco de varios juegos. Ok. Interesante eso. Lo de Blizzard. Blizzard deja de trabajar en China. Perdieron el acceso. Se terminó el contrato que tenían con Netis. No le quisieron renovar. Van a perder mucha plata y no sé qué va a pasar con los juegos que tienen ahí ya. Todos. Decían que los 70% de los jugadores que tenían en WoW eran de China, supuestamente. Imagínate.
All of you are the worst. worst of the worst of the worst. Still,
Están viendo si van a entrar al mercado de nuevo con alguna otra compañía, tipo la de Tencent, esta de Epic. Pero no. De todas maneras no tienen recursos. Si Activision bajó su en bolsa y todo eso, pues simplemente por eso no lo van a comprar. O sea que no está en condiciones de hacer trato, nada. Aunque con el Call of Duty ganaron mucho dinero, así que no sé, tal vez se recuperaron, qué sé yo. Hayan vendido 1 millón de copias en una semana. No, que 1 millón, 100 millones me parece que eran. Sí, era más de 100 me parece. Mira cómo era en Conquer remasterizado, 1914. Mira. Esto está interesante, Ah, el Western Front, sí, yo lo así, mira. Ajá. Interesante. Una primera guerra alternativa. Una mezcla entre mapa táctico y estrategia en tiempo real. Está bueno, tipo los Warhammer. Me gusta.
Choices between inspiring your nation or building your resources will define you and the war. With 6 different branches to research, you choose how this war is fought. Advanced engineering, improved trench warfare, and even flight. Total victory at the tactical level brings your faction one step closer to pushing back the Western Front. But in a war of inches, the victory falls in the margins. Even minor success.
Y bueno, el Company of Heroes 3 también dice que tiene un sistema así, el de la campaña.
Dampening your opponent's national will and tipping the scales of war. Reach success by chipping away at their will to fight or attempt what history could not. Seize the German headquarters. Infiltrate.
Sí, ¿tiene multijugador o no?
Step into the shoes of a commander. Face one of the most significant wars of our time and choose to relive history or redefine it.
Sí, no dice fecha.
Relive history when the Great War Western Front releases in 2023. Up next, we'll take a tactical turn as our strategy segment goes down.
Bueno, quedan 6 minutos. Sí, 4. Para que sean las 4 acá. A ver si lo dura 1 hora y media o se termina. Hay un turn based,
with its superhero
Boom.
tactics game for 2023. You'll recruit a team of heroes to reclaim a city from 20 years of supervillain rule, each bringing their own unique power set and playstyle. With careful positioning, you can blend your super team's powers to create attacks, and as your heroes improve, you'll guide their growth, choosing upgrades to suit your tactics. Start saving up for spandex. Capes releases in 2023.
Sin fecha, 2023.
If your life's been empty of XCOM goodness lately, might we suggest Xenonauts 2? Lead an international defense force in detailed tactical combat against an extraterrestrial enemy. Manage and expand your global research and defense network to ensure Earth outlasts an
Yo me parece que jugué el Xenonauts.
From the makers of Monster Train comes a new turn-based tactics roguelike. In Inkbound, you'll embark on co-op quests through a colourful collection of living stories. Releasing in 2023, Inkbound's evolving world means every
Fíjate que no están dando nada de fecha, o sea, 2023 y ya.
If
A
you
ver,
prefer
este.
your heroes with a fancy flavor, don't fret. While we haven't seen Heroes of Might and Magic in a few
Ah,
years,
sí,
developer
creo que
Lava
este lo
Potion is
jugué yo,
happy to
¿no?
pick up the ball.
Sí, de hecho lo había
Emerging
subido al
early
canal.
access in
Es
2023,
re difícil
Song
el
of
juego,
Conquest is
gente.
that classic
Muy
cocktail
difícil.
of turn-based strategy and
Muy
tactical
cabrón.
combat, all
Hay
in
una
a
campaña en
gorgeous
específica, el de las ranas. Es de más complicado.
Songs
Hasta
of
para mí.
Conquest advances from early access for a full release in 2023.
Mira que yo soy muy fan de la estrategia, pero no, ya ese
Immersion
juego.
sim, part action RPG, Cygnus will see
De hecho, en la reseña le dije: si no
scale to the big.
tienen paciencia ni se molestan en jugar, porque. Y más que paciencia. Lo que pasa es que a mí me molesta cuando en un juego te ponen contrarreloj o ese tipo de cosas. Eso es la peor mierda que puede haber, porque no puedes jugar tranquilo. Me estás jugando estrategia. Es como decir, bueno, por un lado me relajo porque es estrategia y por otro lado estoy apurado por el tema del tiempo que me pone para hacer las cosas. Es una mierda, es una sensación agridulce. No me gustan los juegos con contrarreloj y esas cosas, no. O sea, me gusta tomarme el tiempo para jugar lo que sea.
The company is here to support you. Just in case things go wrong.
Got it. Let's go.
Se ven curiosos los bichitos.
But enough about you. Let's talk about me. I'll make sure my staff pays their fair share to use your facilities. Opulence comes at a price after all.
Pues sí se ve bien.
Visitors that stay at one of these doors will net you some well-deserved credits too.
Time to test out the new upgrades.
Muchos juegos estilo Diablo veo que están por sacar. Sí, el Zero Now es bastante viejo. Por eso creo que no lo llegué a jugar.
Make sure Cygnus is on your wishlist before it enters early access on December 16th.
Así se llamaba el XCON al principio, ¿no era así?
In our celebration of strategy. We're heading back out to the field with Imogen for 2 games with very different kinds of command and a check-in on the eagerly awaited sequel to Men of War.
Relive the
Hay
memories
un
of the
táctico
Grand
ahora.
Soldier's rise from
Ah,
disgrace
tiene
to
buena
untapped
pinta.
tactics. Smart positioning will make the most of your animal comrades and their abilities, while your parlay deck lets you engage in battlefield diplomacy to change the flow of combat. Unlockable characters, upgrades, and equipment offer options to customize your roster.
Eso de que el party sea de 3 no me gusta. Me gusta que te dejan poner todo lo que te cante la bola.
Or penalties to get between you
What
and
the
the
fuck?
wild rush of resource management. Fulfill your flowchart fantasy in Masterplan Tycoon, coming in Q1 2023.
Ok. No entiendo qué carajo es. Menos
Men
jugar.
of War 2 marches on. Even despite wartime delays,
Mhm.
Ukrainian developer Bestway will release
Sin fecha
the
2023.
acclaimed World War II RTS in 2023. Direct combined air, armor, and infantry forces across both the
En lo que es menos jugar he jugado poco porque prácticamente juego más los compañeros héroes, pero siempre me da curiosidad esta saga.
The eyes of the world are upon you.
Tengo algunos que no lo he jugado.
If balancing the supply chain in Masterplan Tycoon was a bit too benevolent for your tastes, you're in luck. Our next game is very much the opposite. It's a reimagining
Son más de las 4, o sea que se ve que dura más el show.
for any aspiring archdemon. Here's a look at Solium Infernum.
No sé por qué dijo over hoy. 1 hora y media de dura. Sino que le meten 3 como la otra vez. Entonces sí va a haber tiempo para que maten todos. Yo lo único que quiero es que agarre Netis y diga, bueno, mira, retrasamos el juego a 2023. Listo. Ya. Pero que dejen de estar con esa tontería de no dar información. No sé qué carajos pasó. Sí, tuvieron problemas con... Bueno, ahora pasó lo de Blizzard, eso me llama la atención. Y Netis va a sacar pero muchísimos juegos, una cantidad de juegos en móvil y en PC. Nada, o sea... No sé qué sentido tiene sacar ya el año que viene el juego, siendo que va a salir el Hogwarts Legacy en febrero, pero bueno. Ellos sabrán. Tal vez tuvieron problemas con las licencias para sacar el juego en diferentes partes del mundo. ¿Qué sé? Las betas estaban en inglés, o sea que el juego ya estaba traducido. Faltaba que lo pongan en más idiomas nomás ya. Y he visto juegos con mucho más texto y más boludeces traducido en Steam. O sea que tampoco es para tanto.
Solium Inferno begins its unholy ascension in 2023, so seal your dark pact by adding it to your wishlist today. Next, a settlement survivor.
Ah, sí, el de Marvel. No sabía que venía en diciembre.
As your band of survivors grows, you won't just be gathering resources and filling out your tech tree. You'll shape the laws of a new society and decide whether humanity's rebuilt world brings an age of equality or authority. Let's dive into Floodland.
Ah, el Floodland, sí. Pero este ya salió. Mira, el Floodland. Yo me metí al Discord y le pedí si me querían dar una clave para analizar el juego y eso. Ni siquiera me respondió. Bueno, de hecho, uno de los desarrolladores sí me dijo hablar con tal, me dijo. Hablé. Y bueno, ya había hablado, mejor dicho, que miré quién era el que hacía los posts y ni bola me dieron. Si están tan cuidadosos de no... ¿Cómo se dice? No dar una clave de que serían $30, creo que está por ahí. Si le importa tanto gastar esos $30 para dárselo a un creador de contenido que le va a hacer propaganda para que vendan más, sencillamente. Porque hay videos que yo, por ejemplo, subí de Victoria 3 que sacaron muchas reproducciones. Y muy probablemente mucha gente que aprendió a jugar gracias a esos videos, porque me tomé la molestia de enseñar bien cómo se jugaba, compraron el juego. Y yo no trabajo para Paradox. O sea que... En fin. No pinta bien eso. Y más, el Floodland es una copia de ese juego de ese estilo que sacaron antes. No es original, por eso me molesta que tengan esa actitud así tan cerrada, siendo que no es original su idea. O sea.
Hello, Commander. No plan survives the first battle. And we've had many.
Pero igual, ya cuando tenga la monetización en el canal, supongo que me van a llegar directamente las propuestas al correo. Me mandaron algunas, pero de cosas que no me interesó realmente. Nada interesante. O sea, lo que estoy muy atento es eso, mirar programas de creador de contenidos en diferentes juegos. Ayer me anoté al de Payday Crane War. Lo revivieron el juego, lo van a sacar. Estaban pidiendo creadores de todo tipo. Ah, este creo que es online. Y ahí me registré. Pero me gustaría entrar al de Sega, si estaría chido. Para entrar de partner, por ejemplo, de Call of Duty, no tengo ni más puta idea cómo se hace, porque no sé cómo está el asunto, no he visto páginas para registrarse. Este acá, yo lo quise jugar, pero me parece que hicieron una beta que era solamente en Estados Unidos. Así que no lo pude probar al final. Pero probé el de las hienas, que es de Amplitude Studio justamente, de Sega. Pero sí, este pinta bien, la verdad que me hubiese gustado poder probarlo, pero van a sacar alguna otra beta solamente. Most Wanted, o sea, lo más buscado, ¿no?
Thanks to the developers of
El Baldur's Gate 3, ajá. TVA, o sea, todavía no se sabe si va a salir en 2023. Este juego lo vienen... No sé hace cuánto que viene en Early, güey. Estoy esperando que lo saquen completo para jugar bien, o sea, no tener que volver a empezar cada vez que sacan una puta actualización. Había metido un mago, creo, la última vez o algo así, un hechicero. Pero sí, el día que esté completo lo voy a subir. Ah, el precio subió, eso sí. Era barato al principio, ahora está más caro. Ah, el Starfield, el de Bethesda, sí. Sí, pero ¿es MMO esto medio así o qué onda? Dice que tenía mundos procedurales, el planeta. Bethesda está ahí con Microsoft.
Make no mistake, we're as eager as anyone
to have
Starfield when it arrives in 2023.
Ajá.
And if Skyrim is anything to measure by, we'll probably be playing it for a decade afterwards.
¿De qué se trata el que estaba comentando de Netis? Es un juego de... Sí, es como de carta, pero al mismo tiempo de fecha de torre, vendría a ser más o menos modalidad. Es basado en el mundo de Harry Potter. Bastante bueno. Es el Diablo. Ese lo conozco, el Diablo. Y el Diablo este va a ser estilo como el Diablo 2, Diablo 1, tiran también. Se va a ver con esa estética. Ajá. Compañero 3, sí. Le agarré un poco de, no sé, como recelo a esta compañía porque se supone que lo iban a sacar en noviembre. Yo tenía reservada la versión más cara, todo incluso. Y lo retrasaron para 23 de febrero de 2023. 5 meses retrasaron el juego y no pinta bien cuando retrasan los juegos, pero es que es el Company Hero, qué sé yo, el 2 ya lo quemé tanto que... Pero es cuando retrasan los juegos y lo retrasan mucho, guarda con eso. Guarda. Ya tuvimos el ejemplo del Cyberpunk. Este tengo ganas de probarlo, el Omen World. Nunca se ha jugado a los otros, pero lo he visto que se ve interesante.
All interceptors with me. Guns at ready and launching on Justin Mark. I've got tracking here. Going manual. Sweep right. There it is. Adjust load rate. Can't get loose. Push your target. Under fire.
The drifting hulks of massive space derelicts provide a wealth of strategic openings for a clever commander to outmaneuver enemies.
Ah, el que vi que sale en diciembre, el Need for Speed. No me gustó. O sea, no sé por qué le pusieron esos gráficos cartoon así un Need for Speed, para mí no tiene sentido. No, ese la verdad, para lo que vale y todo.
Homeworld 3's long-awaited return is set for the first half of 2023.
Ahí sí que la cagaron.
Well, weary travelers, it's time for us to draw the curtain on our crystal orb and turn our eyes back to the present. But don't worry, if any of those 60 or so games caught your fancy, whether one of the relived Half-Lives or the handful of Warhammers, you can wishlist them all over on our Steam page right now. After all, the future's only moments away. I've been Frankie Ward and you've been watching the PC Gaming Show 2023 preview, and we're thanking you for being here. Take care, and we'll see you next year.
Gracias por estar aquí, hijo. ¿Y Netis? ¿Netis dónde verga estuvo Netis? El del Human era de Netis. Ese. Sí, creo que ese era el de Netty. Pero en serio, hacer un anuncio por Twitter para mostrar un juego, no mames. Pues sí, hay algunos juegos interesantes, qué sé yo. Golden Joystick, War, el 22 de noviembre, un día antes del mundial. Ok. Si no me olvido, lo retransmitimos también. Pues no sé, había un poco de todo, pues había estrategia, shooters, muchos juegos estilo Diablo, pero ninguno se mojaba casi a dar fechas, solamente algunos dieron algunas. Y hay algunos que voy a revisar. A ver. Sí, lo agarré justo, pues yo justo empecé cuando estaban pasando ese. Ya. Nos mandó un trailer directamente. Vamos a mirar acá en lo que es el IGN. A ver si hay trailers. Ajá, este quiero ver si es de NetEase o no. No dice que sea. A ver. Yo le doy buscar acá. ¿Qué empresa pertenece? Vamos a mirar en Steam. Es este, ¿no? 4 trimestres de 2023. Uf, para rato. ¿Quién lo hace? Starry Studios. No, parece que no es de NetEase. No, entonces no sé, fue un fake no eso que mandaron, porque si no era ese juego, no sé qué otro que se supone que presentaron. Ajá, el Dune. Y el Dune, qué sé yo, parece como que le falta algo. Yo lo jugué bastante y es como que, no sé. Ajá, de Dark Pictures. El Evil West. Ya, después ya están mostrando lo de los juegos que ya salieron. Ah, mira, van a sacar un Archie. Este es el de Marvel que van a sacar. Battlefield está en la mierda. Bueno, gente, vamos a ir dejando el directito hasta aquí. Sí, No es for Speed, la verdad que se ve malo. Encima estaba mirando la versión cara que vendían y era una risa porque realmente le metías un humo, no sé qué, un efecto de humo al auto, no sé qué cosa, y te lo querían vender mucho más caro solo por el efecto de ese. cuando no veía tratando de estafar gente. No, yo con el Battlefield me llevé una decepción, no por el juego en sí, sino porque está recontra mal optimizado. O sea, yo me armé la PC exclusivamente para jugar el Battlefield. Fíjate que tengo el microprocesador es de marzo del año pasado. Y me va 40, 50 FPS. Pero el gran problema, más allá de los FPS, que si yo trato de transmitir esos juegos, se pega unos lagazos terribles. O sea, me baja, el CPU se me pone al 100%. Un desastre. Mira que el Network, por ejemplo, es re pesado. Pero ese Battlefield, no, se fueron al carajo mal. Y carísimo, muy, muy caro. Y realmente ahora de juegos caros, pues sería el compañero 3. Pero por lo menos hay tiempo para juntar el dinero en febrero. Y el Harry Potter Legacy. Jugar Legacy. Realmente no hay nada así muy interesante. Hay uno que se llama Warlander, que es 50 versus 50, si no es que más, o 200, 100 versus 100, bueno, no sé bien cómo es. Yo lo llegué a probar en el canal y ese sale en diciembre. Ese tiene buena pinta. Yo estoy en el programa también de ese juego, en el programa creado. Y ya, la verdad que no hay nada muy interesante que vaya a salir, no ahora por lo menos, se van todo para 2023. Bueno, estamos, así que bueno, así el martes, si transmitimos eso, si no nos olvidamos, la joystick, no sé qué, a ver con qué salen.